Think about the last time you applied for a job. You sent a resume. You listed your skills. You were judged on what you know, not on who your father is, not on your family name. That idea, that skill matters more than blood. Feels obvious today. It was not always obvious. Someone had to invent it. In this video, we trace exactly where that idea came from. We will follow it to a dynasty that most people have never studied. And at the end, we will see how a test taken in ancient China still shapes how you get hired today. The playbook is older than you think. For most of human history, who you were mattered more than what you could do. In China, before the 7th century, the government worked like this. A small group of aristocratic families controlled everything. If your father was a minister, you could become a minister. If your family had no connections, it did not matter how smart you were. The door was closed. This system had a name. Historians call it the 9-rank system. Officials would look at young men from noble families and assign them to government roles. Not based on ability, based on birth. The Chinese historian Fan Ye described it simply. Under this system, he wrote, there were no poor families among the high-ranked, and no powerful families among the low-ranked. The rich stayed rich, the powerful stayed powerful. For centuries, nobody questioned it. Then, in the year 605, an emperor named Yang of Sui made a decision. He created a written examination open to almost any man in China. Rich or poor, noble or common. If you could pass the test, you could serve the government. The test was called the Keju. It covered Confucian philosophy, poetry, and the skills needed to run a government. It was long, it was hard, and it was the same test for everyone. For the first time in Chinese history, a poor farmer's son could compete with a nobleman's son. On the same page, with the same questions. The best answer won. Here is what most people do not know. The Keju did not just change China. It eventually changed the entire world. The examination had several levels. First, you took a local test. If you passed, you moved to the regional level. Past that, and you went to the capital. The final examination was held inside the imperial palace. Only a small number of candidates passed each year. Those who succeeded were called jinshi, presented scholars. A jinshi could become a judge, a governor, a minister. His family name did not open that door anymore. His answers did. Historians estimate that during the Tang dynasty, less than 3% of candidates passed the highest level. Some men studied for decades. Some failed 20 times and tried again. The Chinese poet Meng Jiao wrote about the day he finally passed, after many failures. He described it as feeling like the whole world had opened up in a single morning. What Emperor Yang created was more than an exam. It was a philosophy. The idea was this. A government works better when the most capable people run it. Not the best connected people. The most capable. This sounds simple today. In 605 AD, it was a revolution. The system forced a question that no civilization had asked so directly before. What does it mean to deserve a role? Is it enough to be born into the right family? Or must you show what you can do? China answered, show what you can do. The Keju lasted for 1,300 years. It finally ended in 1905, when China rebuilt its government system. But by then, the idea had already traveled far beyond China. In the 18th and 19th centuries, European diplomats and missionaries sent detailed reports about the Chinese examination system back to Europe. They were astonished. a government that selected officials by merit, not by birth. Britain took note. In 1855, Britain reformed its civil service and introduced open, competitive examinations for government positions. Historians have directly traced this reform to the influence of the Chinese model. India followed, then other countries. The examination system that shapes civil service hiring around the world today has Chinese roots. Here is the principle that the Keju revealed. Every society faces the same problem. It needs capable people in important roles. But capable people are born everywhere, not only in powerful families. The examination was China's answer to that problem. Open the competition, test everyone, choose the best. The system was not perfect. Women could not take it. Corruption existed. The content was narrow. But the core idea, that ability should determine opportunity, was new, and it proved powerful enough to survive 13 centuries and to travel across the world. Today, when a company posts a job description, they are asking a version of the same question. Who is the best person for this role? The resume you write, the skills you list, the interview where you prove what you know. They all carry the mark of a Chinese emperor who lived 14 centuries ago. He looked at a broken system, where birth decided everything, and asked something different. What if the best person got the job? The playbook is older than you think. If you like the video, subscribe. See you.